Kevin did not. Hold on. Kevin did not like that noise.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gauntlet Regard for the Esports News. I'm your host, Captain Zeus, followed by my co-host JT and Novaburst. And today we got the schedule coming out for week 25 of the Overwatch League. I'm going to go over some of those matches for you. We go over 3 days: Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday's uber short, just 2 matches. We got Atlanta against Boston, Florida against San Fran. That's it.
At least there's one good matchup there, right?
Right. San Fran versus Florida.
So,
right.
Well, Atlanta wins, right? Can we just skip that matchup?
Atlanta wins.
Atlanta wins 3-1.
I agree.
Simple.
Yeah. I can take that.
I agree with 3-1.
I can go game 5 on that too.
What?
What? Hi.
Not a game 5. 3-1. Moving on.
Florida.
You're not going to waste our time on a bad matchup, sir. You tried to do that last week.
Okay. Florida has got the rematch from the May Melee Finals up against San Fran, which I think, hope and pray, Florida pulls out the dub on this one. This will be more of a Game 5 situation. I think Florida's going to be able to pull it out. The hero bans, they don't really affect anyone, kind of like we mentioned last week. Only ones they really affected was New York. But I still think with the heroes that are banned gone, I think Florida still can come out on top on San Fran and show that they're not out of this just yet. So, yeah.
Honestly, I think San Fran, they're not going to let any of this slide again, honestly. I mean, I don't trust Florida anymore because they're very inconsistent with me personally, because they know whenever I choose them, they want to lose and make me look like an idiot. So I think San Fran, obviously, I mean, they looked phenomenal during the tournament, of course, but then they took an L against Paris. But, besides that, we still consider Paris to be a phenomenal team. But it still shows that San Fran is still a top team. And honestly, a top team like San Fran should handle Florida no problem. I don't see a Game 5. Honestly, 3-1, maybe.
Oh my.
Yeah. Shoot, maybe even a sweep.
Whoa.
I'm feeling good about San Fran. I don't know about Florida.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Someone's getting too big for their britches over there.
Before you, hop down his throat, I think this is Game 5. San Fran wins. I think it's possible for Florida to win, but unlikely.
See, at least you think the possibility is there. I'll take that over a sweep because someone's a little delusional.
I said best case scenario, a sweep.
But see, I can see it going 3-1 San Fran or Game 5, either one winning. I can see all of those scenarios. I just think the most likely scenario is San Fran winning in a game of 5.
I think this will go Game 5 as well. I'm really hoping Florida comes out on top. That way, they can be consistent with me, except for the last match, because we don't talk about the last match. Day 2, we got the Chinese and the Japanese and Koreans and all the Asians are playing Saturday.
I think
Sunday.
the Hunters won.
Hold on. Let's slow our rolls a little bit, okay? Seoul is probably, at this point, one of the most inconsistent teams currently.
Them in New York.
Okay.
Ish.
Ish. Not as much as Seoul. Seoul alternates.
I agree. But New York loses games they definitely shouldn't.
So I think because Seoul lost last week, they're going to win this week due to their inconsistency flips. And this will be an easy win. I say 3-1 for Seoul. If they show up with the right one.
Honestly, I think Chengdu, they could put some competition up with Seoul. I mean, we see Chengdu going up against Hangzhou and took it to Game 5 and won. But that was later on in the season. It was not a really impressive Hangzhou. But still, you talking about Seoul being inconsistent, I mean, that is something for them to be worried about. But honestly, I can see a Game 5 going either way, Seoul or Chengdu. But honestly, I think Seoul, they should be able to still win it, but it's going to Game 5.
Should. Depends on which Seoul shows up today.
Yep, exactly. But Game 5, no doubt.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay. I'm going out on a limb on this one.
Wait, which one? The Chengdu matchup or the Seoul or the
Seoul
Shanghai one?
matchup.
Okay, it's the same matchup. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
I meant Shanghai, but I said Seoul. I'm like, why am I still talking about them?
They, I think there's a high. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's 3-1 Hunters.
Okay.
I just think Seoul's gonna choke. Sue me.
Not possible. They're the first game on Saturday. I mean, so might wake up on the wrong side of the bed for all we know, because that's just them. So,
I'm ignoring your logic.
maybe they
JT.
just
If it makes you feel better, I think Shanghai wins their matchup.
I think everyone thinks Shanghai wins their matchup. Okay.
I think it's 3-1.
say that.
I think it's
we say
3-1 as
that,
well. Wait.
But
Wait a sec. Wait. Okay, go.
okay. So honestly, I know Shanghai, the number one team and all that, and I mean, Fleta meta.
You're gonna say some dumb
He's gonna
stuff.
say something stupid.
You can't avoid the Fleta meta. I mean, but London, I'm feeling. You remember last week when I was talking about Spark
Yeah,
and they kicked some keister? Yeah, remember that?
not
So
really.
I think I'm gonna do it again.
I was
I'm gonna do a spirit bomb. We're gonna send our energy to London Spitfire right now, and I think they're gonna take it in a 3-1 fashion.
Oh my gosh, that was some
3-1 fashion.
stupid. Hold on a second. So you know how you're standing there waiting for the spirit bomb? Shanghai is gonna teleport behind you and Kamehameha right in your back, and then boom, you're gone. That's it. That's the end of the story. End of the series. That's it. There
If you
goes
look,
London.
it says Shanghai at London Spitfire.
It actually
they're going
doesn't. It just says 11 a.m. LDN, 3 a.m.
Actually,
PT.
well, they're still going to London Spitfire server, so you know exactly what that means.
It's online.
Yeah, but it's still London Spitfire online territory,
Okay.
so calm down.
Okay.
Make your permission in this airway.
My
Okay.
apologies. I should have known that they're gonna.
God, that's such a bad take. I'm sorry.
You're such a bad take. You know what?
New York Hangzhou.
Good
Game
rematch. Good rematch.
This is a great rematch.
Great.
I think this will be one of the better matchups of this day, probably of all weekend. To be honest, this is a really good rematch.
Yeah, there's some other rematches, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Hangzhou on this one. 3-2, possibly 3-1.
I like the way you say that. Like you're taking like this huge chance.
No, I'm just.
No,
I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the team that's beat New York twice in recent
times.
memory.
3 times.
Oh, you even know the stat. And you make it sound like you're taking the big risk here. No,
It's a huge risk, man.
it's
a
dumb.
huge risk.
I think New York wins this one 3-1. And I'll tell you why.
I don't mind.
Oh
Tell us.
boy,
I'll tell you why.
you tell me, sir.
Okay. So the reason I think that's going to happen is because Chargers beat them 3 times. I don't think they'll take them as seriously. Eventually, you get laxed in a matchup. And I think New York every day gets more and more like powerful with Haskell. Every day they play with him, the better that team gets.
But
I think one of the problems was Haskell actually probably made the team worse. Not from a skill wise, okay? But because they had such a unique play style where it's all team fight all the time, and they didn't really have a standout player except their support, that now they're having to adjust a little bit to having someone who can literally carry games. So I think that's a big shift for them. And that's always been how New York's played. So the team identity, I think it's taken time for the coaches to get on board and to find a new identity. And I think we start to see that coming in the next couple of weeks.
Very nice.
I think they make a push for the, end of the year tournament. I think that's what they have to do.
I could see.
I have a rebuttal.
I want to hear this rebuttal.
Honestly, New York, I mean, this is just not their week. We talked about it too. I mean, the hero bands that we had that go on for 2 weeks. We talked about that is not New York's forte. So that's one strike on New York. And then we have 2 tournaments in which New York had to go against Hangzhou, and they got their clock cleaned out both times.
I agree.
So that's not looking good for them.
That's right too.
Right now, Hangzhou just coming off the summer tournament, winning it, by the way. I mean, they're on a roll, and they're probably gunning for Shanghai right now, you know, to prove that they're the number 1 in the Asian region or whatever.
APAC,
but
call it.
But yeah, but I mean, honestly, I think it's still going to be a good matchup. But shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if they clean their clock again, sweep them 3-0 or 3-1.
3, you're out of here.
I think they end it. I think they end their hot streak.
It's always possible, yeah.
Now, you know what's kind of funny about this, Seoul? So we talk about, Seoul being, unpredictable, right? And we don't think London can beat any of the top Asian teams. But if you really think about it, that region is so stacked right now.
Hello.
They very well could have the top 4 teams in the entire league, all in the Asian region.
Yeah.
So London, London's losing some games here and there against them, but really we should be impressed with how well London's actually playing, because they're having to play like top 4 teams literally every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even Seoul losing games, I mean, they're losing games to people that are either better than them or close to them. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy how unbalanced the regions are currently.
It is kind of whack, especially with London being an all-rookie roster. They're doing pretty dang good for themselves. Kind of sucks.
I would be very happy if I was an owner of like London or even a coach. Man, I would be very happy with that.
Yeah, but if I was a player, you get paid.
I mean, they might not win it all this year, but they're gonna have a good team next year if they can continue to build on it. So,
and then when we start to do the actual land events again, things will get so much better.
Which, I haven't picked London to win like any game this entire year. So I wanted to make that statement just as like, I don't actually hate London. I think they're a really good team. I think they've gotten harshly punished record-wise from being in the region they're in.
Yeah, especially when you have only like 6 teams in that region. It's kind of a bummer. But moving on to the NA,
5th worst team in that region.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the NA side of day 2, San Fran versus Vancouver. Easy dub. No one needs to rebuttal on this one, correct?
Yep.
Vancouver!
Get out of here. Florida versus Washington. That's an easy dub for Florida because Washington has not looked strong in a very long time, and I don't think they will be this season.
Which game are they playing? Are they playing Overwatch or are they playing Valorant?
I think they're playing Valorant.
Oh, well then I pick Washington to win.
Washington got it then.
God dang. Because they have all those pro Valorant players on their roster.
They all left.
Then literally day 2 for the NA side is actually pretty boring.
We also have 2 more matches for day 1 or for Saturday.
Right. No, you're good.
Yeah, it's tough.
Boston versus Dallas. That's an easy dub or should be an easy dub for Dallas. Unless Boston does their miraculous, hey, we're going to beat a top team, and then we'll lose the next 4 in a row.
I like the way you phrase that. Continue.
Yeah.
And to conclude day 2, Philly versus LA Gladiators. I think this should be an interesting matchup. I don't see LA winning this, but I kind of want to see what happens. I want to see how they do against Philly, and I want to see this go to like a 3-1, but a close 3-1.
I think it's going to be a 3-1 Philly, but I would like to see a game 5 out of it.
I would like to see that too. I mean, it's kind of weird because I do, but I don't, because based on how the summer, showdown went, LA kind of got knocked out, and if they game 5 Philly, I mean, it could just be play style, but it's just weird how the dynamics work with all the teams. But it would be really interesting to see Philly kind of like have some more chinks in their armor.
Yeah, most likely a 3-1, but I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if they sweep LA Gladiators. They haven't been the best top 10 team, or
They are number 10.
already in. I don't know what you want to call them
the 10.
anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, to me, they're still number 10. They've kind of been nosediving a little bit. But I hope them playing a good team, kind of bring some of that spark back to them.
And speaking of spark.
It's a great week for Nova Burst over here. Hangzhou to start off day 3 in the final day up against Chengdu to start it off. How we feel about these gents? Because I don't think Chengdu's winning anything this week.
No. I think Hunters win this. 3-0 sweep. Hey, Spark. I picked the other team. Go ahead and win.
He's trying to reverse psychology. Don't listen to him.
Hunters win 3-0. That's my prediction.
What if it happens? What if it comes true?
Well, then I'm a god. So.
It's a win-win for you.
I really want to watch Spark win.
Spark got this. Should be a sweep, if not 3-1 at the most. But no problem. Spark got this.
Shanghai versus Seoul, next matchup. It's another rematch-ish matchup. These two Titans used to always be fighting for the top spot. Now Seoul's just kind of fighting to stay relevant. Shanghai should still win this one, though. But this week, I really want to see Seoul kind of come alive and stop being inconsistent. So I could see them taking the map off Shanghai. I mean, if they bring it to a game 5, that shows that there's some life left in them. But, I mean, I really see this as a Shanghai 3-1.
So
Shanghai.
I'm going to break it down what's about to happen with Seoul. I've got a read on them, okay? So they're going to get 3-0'd by Hunters, okay?
Boy.
And then they're going to turn around and 3-0 the Dragons to remain
what the heck
in the universe.
They are the chosen one.
That would be the most Seoul thing they could do.
That
So
really
that's
would
be my
be.
prediction. So
I swear, if this happens, I'm done. I quit.
So Seoul is going to get 3-0'd on Saturday, and then I'm predicting them to 3-0 Shanghai. That's a hot take, man.
That's pure steam. That's just wow. Okay, we're gonna kind of move off of that. It's a lot to process. LA Gladiators up against Paris. This should be an interesting matchup. I don't see Paris having any difficulty against LA, to be honest. They've shown time and time again that they're climbing up higher and higher in the top ranks. LA, depending on how they do against Philly, might be a little bit burned, a little bit bummed, especially because I feel like they're going to lose it. I can see this going to 3-1 Paris, but more than likely it's going to be a sweep.
I think it's going to be a sweep. This is a really difficult week for LA. How do you plan for 2 top 5, top 6 teams?
The finalists of the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, and that's just a lot to have to prepare for. So yeah. I think this is going to be a rough week for them. I think they will take a game, but I don't think they're going to win this series.
Words right out of my mouth.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's basically what I was going to say.
Also, it's almost like our opinion on Gladiators is almost identical.
As if you're the same person. Philly is up against Toronto. Good rematch from the Summer Showdown. I want to see Toronto win. I'm going to say it right here. I want to see Toronto win this in a game 5 because they showed a lot of might in the Summer Showdown. And I want them to be to show, hey, we're not out of this just yet. I want them to punch Philly in the face.
They're out of it, but
no, they're not.
I'll bring us back to reality. So no, you guys were not. Philadelphia, obviously, they won for a reason in the tournament against Toronto because Toronto was riding on pure, 5-hour energy or something. I don't know what they're on, but I mean they were winning, and so Philadelphia, they were like, okay, you need to stop and shut that down real quick. So yeah, this is just going to be an easy sweep for Philadelphia, to be honest.
Game 5.
I see game 5, and I see Toronto taking the dub.
Okay, I don't want to get that hyped, but if it makes it to a game 5, I would be very happy.
Well, they need all the Monster Bang 5-hour.
Oh, I already Amazon
everything on there.
They
might not live through the next day. Like all of them have heart attacks. But
if they win, they're going out with a bang.
I got them a 24-pack of Monster, so they should be fine.
Speaking of Bang, this video is sponsored by
Raid Shadow
Legend.
And then to conclude the weekend with one of the most boring matchups ever.
Watch your mouth.
Washington versus Houston. This should be a Houston dub, easy peasy.
Dante is not boring.
I said the matchup.
Okay.
I'm super excited for this matchup actually because Washington kind of has a shot here. So
I'm gonna stop you right there.
That's
real
tough,
quick.
man.
Houston has been on the rise and has been doing better than they have
on the rise. They got smacked down by Dallas.
They did not get smacked down. That was a game 5 in a close game 5, which honestly the game effed them up. They were on the point.
They got reverse 3-0'd.
It was a close game 5. Yeah, you said that right.
Sorry.
It's fine. That Dallas fuel's getting to you, man. But dude, I'm telling you, Houston is making a slow comeback. They beat LA Glads. They beat Florida. Almost beat Dallas. Really should have beaten Dallas. I don't see Washington being any difficulty for them whatsoever. This is going to be a sign of life for them to get out of the bottom barrel and into that middle section.
I agree with you. They are on a mission. They're going to reclaim their crown of being the second worst team. So
Vancouver has that crown safely on
no.
their head. Yes.
No.
Not all your Canadians can do well.
Vancouver beat Boston and Washington. So.
Well, Houston's above Vancouver. Let's calm down.
Yeah, but they're about to, Houston's about to lose to Washington.
They're not going to lose to Washington. I don't know where you're getting this from.
I hope, man, that would make my day.
I literally will not be here next week if Houston loses. You will not find me.
You gonna put money
Just
in
an
that?
empty chair.
It will be just an empty effing chair. You'll have to do it.
Man, I'm gonna watch. I wasn't gonna watch that game before because I really don't care about that matchup. But I'm gonna watch that matchup.
I'm not. If Houston loses, I'm out. Every time I try so hard for them, if this happens again, I can't take it anymore. I can't. There's only so much a man can handle.
You're such a fair weather fan.
There's so much I can handle.
There's only so much I can handle.
As a Houston fan.
Exactly.
Eventually, it's just all over. So one
you
thing.
Want to trade teams?
No.
We're good.
One thing that's sad is day 1 Friday has a good end of day match.
Correct.
Day 2 has a good end of game match.
That's also correct.
Why can't they just do that for day 3? Come on, it's not that hard.
They never do it for day 3.
Just put LAG versus Paris or Seoul versus. Come on, guys.
They can't do the Asian regions, but literally any of the other 2 matchups for the last matchup would have been better. Straight up. Because, and I bet you they're going to have your favorite casters casting it too.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Because they always host the Houston games. And it's so bad.
Phenomenal.
So bad. They should hire me as a caster. They really should. I'll be the best dang caster on that place.
Send us some screenshots and videos of you casting.
I'm gonna ask Golden Boy if he can be my mentor. Take me under. You see this? It's my wing, and you're under it.
That's in my wing.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let us know in the comments what you think this weekend's going to turn out to be. And, the best matchup and the worst matchup. I'm Captain Zeus. That's Nova Burst and JT, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya.